This is Mick Foley.
Former WWE superstar Horns over here.
This is Dave LaGreca from Bustin' Open.
I am WWF's longest reigning light heavyweight champion, Gilbert, and you are now
somewhere in the ring.
Somewhere in the ring.
Somewhere in the ring.
Somewhere in the ring. Have a nice day.
Extended or standard edition?
Whatever's on HBO Max.
Both versions on our HBO Max. Don't you dodge the question. Do you
damn
watch
it.
the extended version?
Quit
Or do you watch
LOTR
the theatrical
deflecting.
cut?
I want to say it's the theatrical cut.
Coward.
I mean, they were like 3 hours long each. Is that the theatrical cut? I don't know.
Yes, that's all. Yes, the extended Lord of the Rings cut is almost 4 hours long, and you're supposed to enjoy every second of it.
Well, okay. You know, I'm just happy there were no hobbits in barrels going down a river. That's a story for another time.
Here, look. No, I will say after. Oh, where the hell did I put my seltzer? I'll get it in a second. I'm thirsty. I have come around on the Hobbit films. And here's my thing about them.
Listen.
And then we will talk about wrestling because this is Somewhere in the Ring. I'm Andrew Sanford. You're Ryan Sprague. This is a podcast where we talk about wrestling. But first, and then I'll talk about why my face looks weird. But first, I rewatched The Hobbit. I saw the first Hobbit, The Unexpected Journey, in theaters in the 48 frames per second rate, which I found to be unwatchable. It looked almost like a soap opera. Like it looked it gave that weird kind of like motion smoothing effect.
Hate that.
Especially when you're in a fantastical world, it did not play. My other problem with that movie, and this was reiterated when I rewatched it, is that it is beat for beat Fellowship of the Ring. Like it is the same story for whatever reason. Even though it doesn't have to be, it is the same story beat for beat. You know, of course, obviously they're not telling the exact same story, but story beat wise, same movie. Desolation of Smaug and the Battle of Five Armies, slap, as the children say. Those movies are a lot of fun.
Desolation of Smaug. I could watch over and over again. We watched all the behind the scenes of that too, dude.
Ooh.
I can't believe how bad they treated those actors during the filming of those Hobbit movies because everything was so rushed and they was like, get it out. They were like making these poor actors do things, not doing more takes, you know, putting them in barrels with all these dead fish. Oh,
hell yeah.
Anyways.
All right, like I get it, but that sounds great. My favorite story is Ian McKellen had a breakdown making those movies. No, we're going to just talk about the Hobbit movies now. He had a breakdown making the first one because the way they had to shoot it perspective wise is he was in one room covered in green and the Hobbits and everybody else were on like a set right next door, like right adjacent to him, basically. And he was like, I'm an actor. I didn't get in here to do like something, which is especially funny because more often than not, when theater people do those kind of movies, they compare it. They're like, oh, it's like a black box theater. They're just like, you know, you're putting on your silly costume, you're standing in a room that's nothing, and you're pretending it's something. Like I'm always fat. John Malkovich talked about that recently because he's going to be in the new Fantastic Four movie. Like it's because people were like, why did it take you so long to do this? And he's like, they didn't offer me enough money, but now they did, and now I'm here, and it's fine. It's just
everything can be smoothed over with that cold hard cash, baby.
Stanky cash, baby.
So that was my evening.
Hell yeah. My afternoon, I am actually alone in my house currently, which is not often, doesn't happen often. Joy and the boys went to Connecticut. You didn't even flinch.
I did.
You heard Home Alone and you're like, I got to do the scream.
Oh, dude,
A+.
I'm on it.
A+. So I am, so Home Alone, I went to shave down to my mustache. Screwed up and had to shave entirely. And I am not somebody who I don't like a 5 o'clock shadow. I like to be 3 days from now at least all the time. And now I'm gonna look. I gotta like not even a baby face. I look like something's wrong with me when I don't have facial hair. So that's where I'm at. I'm doing
wrong with you. You're doing great, my man.
Thanks,
I think every guy can say that they've been where you're at. It is a insecure moment for any man.
Because I had shaved it down
Yeah.
and I made a mistake, and then I was like, well, let me try to adjust it. Now I was like, now I just like look like Gomez, or like no, worse, because Gomez doesn't have glasses. I look like the brother from Napoleon Dynamite. Like, and like,
Oof.
look, things turn out great for him, but that was not, that's not what I was looking for. Keep talking. Tell people what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to get my seltzer that I said.
Sounds good, my man. All right, guys. Welcome to Somewhere in the Ring. I'm Ryan Sprague. That is Andrew Sanford getting his drink. And we got a fun show for you today. We're going to be talking all about our top 3 favorite women's matches of all time. But before we get to those, we're going to be giving our predictions for this jam-packed week of wrestling. Andrew, let me get you back on here, buddy. Can you believe? Oh,
yeah. What's up?
Can you believe?
What's funny too is you removed me. My seltzer was right here. It was right here. I just couldn't see it, and then I immediately started yelling. I was like, "Wait!" And I was like, "Oh, cut me off."
I got you off.
Let's go Rangers. I have to say that because that's where the
4
AEW show is on Saturday.
Texas, you're right, buddy. We got 4
It's
shows
in their
this
state,
week.
not even just Texas. It's in Globe Like Field in Arlington. Like it is.
Oh my gosh.
At Texas Rangers Park.
Okay, I did not know that. That's amazing. So we've got Saturday night's main event happening on Saturday. We've got NXT Great American Bash happening on Saturday. We've got AEW All in Texas happening on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we've got the outlier, and that is WWE Evolution 2. Dude.
Hell yeah.
I can't believe this. This is a huge weekend. We will not be covering, I don't think, American Bash or All In tonight, but we will be giving our predictions for Saturday night's main event and Evolution. I've got all the matches here. I'm going to be honest, man. It's too much to keep in my brain, so I haven't really looked at any of these matches.
That's okay.
Ton of thought into them, but let's just go with
I want it fresh. I want it fresh.
We're going to do fresh. Yeah, we're gonna do fresh. Is there any news or anything you could think of before we get into our first predictions?
Not a damn thing, honestly. Okay. I'm sure there's probably something out there that people are talking about, but I don't know. All I know is that Goldberg was not on Raw last night. I was reading that today. The man has a match on his final match is on Saturday, and they did not have him on the big show beforehand. I know that
yes, he was.
Is also he was.
Yes,
when?
He was.
When was he on Raw? When was he on Raw?
He was there last night. I'm almost positive. Am I going crazy? Am I going crazy?
Because I didn't see it. I just saw that he wasn't there.
I thought he was, but you know what? Now that you mention it, what I did see, he had the same exact clothes on as the week before. So maybe it was just a recap. I'm either I'm going crazy or you missed something or both of us are behind on this one. I don't know, but
yay.
But yeah. Yay. Yeah, exactly. You know what? Before we get to our predictions, there are a few things I want to point out that happened on Raw last night. Very quickly. I promise. And you know, we have said this in the past. We know a couple writers who have worked for WWE, who might currently work for WWE, and I want to shout them out. I don't know if they had anything to do with these decisions last night. I know one of the decisions specifically they had something to do with, but this was one of the funniest Monday Night Raws I've seen in a while, man.
Cool.
This was the first little piece of comedy that I loved. They did the Judgment Day. If you're watching this on YouTube, they had an altar set up like in memoriam for Liv Morgan, who is not dead yet.
Is that what
Raquel set that up?
Is Raquel like just mad that they like what was her reaction to this? Because she looks like she doesn't understand.
She literally said she's not dead. So it was great, man. And then like right after this, Dom went to take a piece of cake. You can kind of see it in the corner there, and it said, "Hey, see ya soon. Love AJ." And AJ Styles was behind a little curtain peeking in on Dom and giving him the I see you. Dude,
amazing.
Comedy gold. Pure comedy gold. The next one I'm going to point out to you is these incredible get-ups of the New Day as they came out to mourn the loss of their tag team titles. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to say.
I think that's fun. I think Chelsea Green did it first, but still fun. But Chelsea Green did it first like a month ago.
Yeah, they looked amazing. I absolutely love that. Our next one, this was, I don't know how I feel about this one, but basically, Sami Zayn did a little promo backstage with the announcer there, and then he left. And then out of nowhere, Scarlett just walks into frame and just stands there with this outfit on. And the announcer said, Scarlett, hello. Can I help you with something? Is there something you wanted to say? And Scarlett just said, no. And then that was it.
Amazing.
So it was
Amazing.
awesome. It was awesome.
Great. Heck yeah.
I was not on board with the whole Scarlett thing, but after seeing that segment last night, I'm like, she's got some talent. She's got some acting chops. So yeah, I can't wait to see what her and Karrion Kross do next. And I don't have an image for it, but okay. I'm gonna play it really quick. I promise.
Okay.
This clip from last night, Paul Heyman, Penta backstage.
Oh, yes. I heard about this. Please.
Okay, watch. So it was more the Paul Heyman speaking perfect Spanish that really stuck out to me. And I looked up what he actually said in English. He said, tonight is your last night, you son of a b. So there you go.
Where do you go?
But, my God, dude, I took, I think, 8 years of Spanish, and I still can't hit it like he hit that last.
I took much less. I took about 3 years, and at one point, I had a Spanish teacher tell me to stop taking Spanish. That's how I did. So, I feel you.
No bueno. No bueno.
What?
Almost went over my head.
Swish.
Almost.
Let's go.
Almost.
You were about to explain. That would have been even better.
Let's get to Saturday night's main event since I crammed all that on you, all the comedy from last night. We've got basically only 3 confirmed matches. I'll get to the one that's been rumored, but we got Randy Orton versus a returning Drew McIntyre. So what do you think about this one?
I think Orton is currently in like enhancement mode, not in like a strict sense, not in like a, he's not a nameless person showing up just to make somebody look at, just for somebody to beat up. But I do think they're getting mileage right now out of having people beat Randy Orton. I'm starting to become less and less certain about him challenging for any world titles. So I see McIntyre winning this match and probably moving on to maybe try to go after whoever wins at SummerSlam, because they've made it clear, like, The Rock isn't going to send somebody a sword for no reason, like he did last year. And they like McIntyre, as they should. I think they want him to be a bigger heel and a bigger star. So I think this is kind of like that next stepping stone.
Okay.
And it wouldn't hurt Randy to lose. Like, if he loses, he loses.
Exactly. Every loss at this point for Randy, I think, is just going to fuel this possible heel turn of his even more. So I could see Drew. I'm with you on this. I think Drew needs it. So happy to see him back. He's now got the official Bored at Work t-shirt from that meme of his from last year.
Amazing.
So yeah, I'm with you on this one. I got Drew McIntyre all the way. Our next one, LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. They went at it at the end of Monday Night Raw last night, but we're going to get a match, man. Seth Rollins and LA Knight.
I think it's tough because I feel like LA Knight should win this, because I don't think it would hurt Seth Rollins if he lost. But I think it makes more sense to have Rollins win, or maybe even like cheat to win or something like that. But what I like is I don't see this as being the end of this between them whatsoever. We're probably going to just have it build until SummerSlam, because Rollins needs something to do with SummerSlam. Crowd is so over on LA Knight right now. And I think that would be like a really good fit.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. However, I am going with an LA Knight win on this one.
I can.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why after our next prediction match. I'm sticking with it, man. I'm not letting this one die. We have, I'm guessing, our main event, and that is Gunther versus Goldberg for the World Championship. So, okay, what do you got?
I want it over in 3 minutes. I'm going to be sitting in Madison Square Garden watching Weird Al Yankovic while this happens, and I know at some point I'll be able to tell, like, if I find myself just suddenly overcome with goosebumps, even though he's already been singing for 45 minutes, it means that Gunther came out and just straight up wiped the floor with Goldberg for 3 minutes, and then it was over. I doubt that's going to happen. because nothing about this has made sense. Nothing about it has been good. Nothing about it has been enjoyable. So like at this point, I'm just kind of a big fat who cares, and I haven't been that way. I think maybe even in the entirety of the show, since we've started. I will always happy to like look on the bright side. Yada. I do not like that this match is happening. I think it's a waste of both of their times, to be frank, but mainly a waste of Gunther's time. It makes the world heavyweight title seem silly, almost to like David Arquette extents, like extension. Like it doesn't. It's pointless. Goldberg should not be wrestling for the world heavyweight title. That's dumb. And
Agreed.
I've seen people be like, well, Austin or The Rock or whatever. There are stars, like people who might be stars on his level that can come back and request a certain amount but they are all better wrestlers than he is. They have all kept in better shape. I would much rather see Billy Gunn wrestling Gunther if they want to make it. He's wrestling an older person because guess what? He's still in shape and it makes sense that he's wrestling. Does not make sense that Goldberg's going out there. And I don't know how this could even be a good match. I would love to be surprised. I just doubt that's going to happen. So I don't care. Gunther's probably going to win. If Goldberg wins, like what are we even doing?
Okay, so my crazy wonky conspiracy theory board thing. I'm sticking with my thoughts on Seth Rollins. I think there's a possibility that Goldberg could win, and he's going to be so freaking gassed after those, 5-10 minutes, maybe, if it's even
after having to walk out to the ring.
I know, and inhaling those sparks and smoke out of his nose. I think there's a possibility Goldberg could win. Seth Rollins could come in while Goldberg is completely gassed, cash in, get the championship.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with it. I know it's a long shot. I know they probably have much bigger plans for Seth in that cash in, but it's the only thing, man, that makes me give a flying F about this match is that very slim chance of that happening. So I'm gonna, unfortunately, can't believe I'm saying this, go with a Goldberg win on this one.
Crazy. Okay. Yeah. If that happens, fine. But I even then I'm just kind of like, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's all they have confirmed. 3 matches. But
and here's the thing: there's not usually that many.
That's true.
I think it's like 4 tops, maybe 5. But there's so many commercials.
It's only an hour, right?
No, it's 2. It's 2
hours.
But yeah, it's 2. But you got to account for like commercials every 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah, which because it's on network television. And again, the thing that excites me the most about this Saturday night's main event is that it is going to have 2 hours to let everyone know that the next night there is going to be an all-female pay-per-view, and I think that's rad.
Amen.
I think that's very cool. I think that's a good push for it. Doing Saturday night's main event and the Great American Bash in one day does seem purposely to be counter programming to AEW doing their All In show, which is like their WrestleMania. But maybe it's because I'm not watching as much, but all of that feels kind of diluted because they do pay-per-views on like regular, like weekly shows. Like it doesn't, I think All In was special the first time for obvious reasons. And now it's just kind of like it feels like they're not, I think they need to wait. No, or what was it? Double? No, it was All In was the first one, and then Double or Nothing was the first one with them as a company, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, I don't know, guys, come up with something else, make something else, and what's in a name, yada yada. But it's still like, we'll see. And also, Globe Life Field is huge, so there's a lot of potential there. I bet they're gonna have a great night. I bet AEW fans are gonna love it. I bet that Tony Storm Mercedes Moné match is going to whip. So like, of course there's going to be good stuff in there, but I do think it's very funny that WWE felt the need to program against it because that makes them look more like scared than they need to be.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, and Tony Khan's at the point where he is just focusing on his company. He's no longer taking these jabs at WWE, at least in public. And
sure,
the fact that WWE would go to this length and immediately like go on the, I would say the defense on this one, the offense was Tony Khan just having his show. scheduled when it was supposed to be, and WWE being like, no, we're gonna do. I don't like it. Doesn't look good for WWE. A lot of things don't look good right now with WWE, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's a conversation for another time. But there is a rumored match, Andrew, for Saturday night's main event: Dom Mysterio versus AJ Styles.
Ooh.
AJ has been hunting Dom down, like I said. Dom still has his doctor's note saying he cannot compete. But there is a possibility that will be up, and just in time for Saturday night for that to be our fourth match.
Interesting. I feel like they got to save that for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah, only because I think Dom is already an incredible Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah,
for a lot of reasons. For a lot of reasons. Even if the matches haven't been the matches have been good, but I think the opportunity for him to wrestle somebody like AJ Styles at something like SummerSlam, which is going to be 2 nights, so they need a lot. They need a lot. I think you save that. I think you save that and have them do maybe even a ladder match or something. I think they're going to try to add some prestige to both back to the Intercontinental title and to Dom's run. And I think having him wrestle against and potentially beat AJ Styles would be huge for that. And I think you save it, personally.
Okay. Yeah. I keep forgetting that SummerSlam is 2 nights. They have a lot that they're going to have to fill. So, yeah.
Yep.
Get these strong performers, storylines going, heat them up, get them ready to serve. I love it. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
No, I'm hungry. You're making me hungry. It's okay.
I just think I must be still hungry. I don't know.
That's fair.
Shall we move on to Sunday night?
Hell yeah. Yeah. Evolution
WWE
2, baby.
Evolution 2. All right. So what I think, I don't know. We don't know the match order, obviously, but I think it would be a good way to start things off with the Battle Royale, right?
See that? Yep.
Winner receives a championship match at Clash in Paris in August. There's only a few confirmed participants so far, Andrew. We have Nikki Bella, Stephanie Vaquer, Maxine Dupree, Natalia, Nia Jax, and Ivy Nile. That's it. Publicly confirmed for this.
Gotcha.
thing.
Okay.
And
So
what is
Vaquer
it,
is
30?
No, a battle royal can be anywhere from you can have
Whatever
a battle
the
royal
one-
with four people if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It just all that matters is it's I think the difference between a battle royal and say a Royal Rumble is that everybody starts in the ring at once.
At the same time. Yeah.
Yes,
Got
and
it.
then you get eliminated.
Is it over the
usually,
ropes?
usually
Okay.
it can be like a pin elimination. I don't think that's very traditional, but that can happen.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I should know this. I don't know why I'm asking you.
No, and honestly, a lot of what I'm gathering too, I think, is from the you can do a battle royale in the video games and have it be a pin elimination. You've been able to do that for a very long time. And that could just be because it's the video game, but I think more often than not, it's over the top rope. But yeah, it can be I bet it'll be 8 to 12 people, something like that, whatever can comfortably fit in the ring at the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
And I feel like Stephanie Vaquer's got to win this match.
Yeah, all the way. I don't even. It's a given, in my opinion.
Yeah. Honestly, it just makes the most sense. She's incredible. She's crushing it right now. Everybody loves her, and they already clearly was she wrestling for the Intercontinental title at all, or the U.S. title at all, or they literally just I think they should just probably move her up to the world title picture.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know. That's a very good question. I mean, she's been in 2 PLEs at this point.
Right.
She's on the main roster now.
Mhm.
She's gone against Rhea Ripley. I mean, it's crazy, dude. She just shot up there, which always concerns me when the rocket gets put on too quick, too fast, too forceful. But she's got the wrestling to back it up. Her English is getting significantly better. She actually cut a promo in English somewhat recently, either on SmackDown or Raw. And it was great. And she did a wonderful job. So she has superstar written all over her. And I do also have her winning the Battle Royale. So.
And I'm also just going to note right here, Ryan prefers they speak in English.
Stop it.
No, what's up? What's up?
I am bringing that up a lot tonight, aren't I? that he did the Espanol very bueno.
There it is.
He
Oh
did,
boy.
yeah,
Again, I
yeah.
don't
Oh boy.
don't follow.
Let's move on.
Hey.
NXT Women's Championship match: JC Jane versus Jordan Grace.
I feel like they like Grace a lot. I don't know if because she's already moved to SmackDown, didn't she?
I don't believe they've moved her up yet.
Oh,
Officially.
interesting. Oh,
Yeah.
then I say then I think she might win this.
I think she's still a little green, and they want to get her in a championship title before she moves up officially. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that would make sense to have her win this. And it also
Mhm.
it's not like she's new, you know what I mean? Like she's definitely a vet. So that's really fascinating. I bet she wins this and kind of runs rampant in NXT for a while. Let her own that for a bit.
Yeah.
I think that would rule.
I could see it being kind of like a Stephanie Vicar situation. She kind of
Sure.
just holds that title for a long time, maybe like Gunther even. I don't know, but I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about JC Jane, so I don't really have much of an opinion, but good for her. I'm glad she's got the championship right now, but I could see this as a catapult for Jordan Grace at this point. Yeah. Cool. So we're both on the same page. Jordan Grace for this match. We've got a fatal 4-way tag team. Look at this lineup, dude. We have Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss, Asuka and Kairi Sane, and Sol Ruka and Zariah. So
love that Ruka and Zariah are in this match.
Yeah.
I think that rules. And I don't think they're gonna win. Same with Kairi Sane and Asuka. I like again. This will probably be the match of the night when things come down to it. I think this will be really, really good. I especially because I love the storytelling between Raquel and Roxanne, and I think they're kind of teasing Raquel leaving the group or moving on, especially with these two just not getting along, even though they're tag champs, and then you could have them lose and blame each other kind of a situation. Because look, the idea of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair being tag champions is too enticing, and I think bumps up those tag titles significantly. I think that would rule. It would rule so hard, and it would be a lot of fun, and they could end up going down as one of those classic like Benoit and Angle, or when they have these two wrestlers that are just these are both wrestlers that are great that don't necessarily go together and have maybe even fought each other in the past, and now we're gonna stick them together and have them be a super team. And that's what that feels like for me, and I think they're gonna win this match.
Okay, you know what? I will say this: they both need it right now. I think Alexa Bliss came back to a huge pop at the Royal Rumble, but since then she was kind of just floating. And then Charlotte Flair's return, as we all saw, was not, I think, what she expected. And a lot of the commentators expected. And
it's what I expected. It's what I expected.
You had it. I know.
She was going to put over Tiffany Stratton. It doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Yeah,
but having her win the tag titles, that ups the prestige.
Okay,
it makes it really exciting. Puts a really powerful team. I want that very much.
I love it. So you got those two. I'm gonna go with Roxanne and Raquel. I do agree.
I could say they could make sense.
I think they're moving towards Raquel possibly becoming a singles competitor, but I don't think they're there just quite yet. I think there's more story they could tell with that, especially with this Roxanne saying "live is dead" sort of thing. It's just, oh man, comedy gold, comedy macabre, but comedy gold in my opinion.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with those two for that
Fair
one.
Enough.
Cool. Ooh, dude, no holds barred match between we have Naomi and Jade Cargill. Sorry, I just had a brain fart. Man. I got Naomi. Just gonna say it right now.
See, I would this is my issue with this kind of stuff. This match should have happened before Queen of the Ring.
Yes. Yep.
Because there's no way that they're gonna have Jade lose now. There's just no way. She's going to wrestle for the title in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think Naomi should win for a few different reasons. But I think when it comes down to it, they've kind of already backed themselves into a corner storytelling wise. Like it would make no sense to deflate Jade before her title match, which again, I don't even know if she's going to win because she's supposed to be filming a movie this summer. And maybe they're going to fit in both things. I'm sure they could find a way. They like her a lot. They want to up her profile. But I think she's going to win this match. And I do think, though, on the plus side, like no holds barred matches tend to help shield certain wrestlers' shortcomings as far as technicality goes. They can just beat the hell out of each other and have fun with it. So it doesn't mean it'll be bad. And I honestly think this will be a really good match. Especially with Naomi getting to like call the shots, being the heel in the situation, probably getting to call the match a lot of the time. But yeah, I think Jade, it's almost like a foregone conclusion, and that kind of like takes some of the excitement out of it for me.
Okay. Well, I will say this. If Jade does win, she better proceed with caution, Andrew.
Swish. Let's go. Come on.
You mentioned Tiffany Stratton. Wow. We have Tiffany Stratton going up against Trish Stratus. This came together in the past 72 hours, I would say. Okay. I think it's time that Tiffany loses the belt. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Dude, she's a heel. She is a heel. Bully Ray's been talking about it for weeks. I know I bring him up a lot. I agree with a lot of his opinions usually. She's a heel, and they keep trying to force her into being a babyface. It's not working. She's not good on the mic in terms of that. And I'm over her. It's no longer Tiffy time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you think they're going to put the women's undisputed title on Trish Stratus?
I do.
Okay.
I know it's crazy, but hey, I also have Goldberg winning.
Who has the money in the bank right now? Is it Naomi?
Yep, it's Naomi.
Huh.
Yeah.
I could see a cash in after that if that happened. But I
would be a good way to put Naomi over if Trish did that. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they want to. When you're having these two stars that you're pushing so much with your Jade Cargill and your Tiffany Stratton, because has Jade said she's going to challenge Tiffany, or is she going to challenge Io? Yeah. So I think that makes more sense personally. Just in like that you want to. I feel like the whole point of having like newer stars or building up new stars is to build new feuds and new exciting things. And there could be excitement to get out of Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill going up against each other. And having that be kind of a more sustained feud. Does that mean they're going to do it? Maybe not. But I feel like that's the way to go. And I don't see Trish being around enough to carry that belt, but I could be wrong. I do think they're kind of past the days of putting the big belts on people who aren't there all the time. Like Cena is obviously not like the best example, but that's like a different, like kind of an extenuating circumstance, and he's still there pretty often.
Yeah.
But I feel like just Tiffany has to win this match.
That's fair. I think you're right, but I'm gonna stick with it, just because I love Trish, and I think she, as we'll get to in our top 3 favorite women's matches. She might make an appearance. Little tease there. But let's move to our next match. We have the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. Awesome.
I would like to amend and to amend an earlier statement that I made and say that this will probably end up being the match of the night.
The best match.
I didn't know the card going in. That tag match is still going to be very good. This is going to be real good. This is going to be a real good match.
Yep. I love the story. I think the story is there. It's built in. All 3 of these women are at their prime. And it's awesome.
Sorry,
that's
really exciting.
On your toes there.
Yeah, so Becky Lynch, Bailey, Lyra Valkyria, Intercontinental title. Oh man, I feel like you have Lyra win this.
Win it back.
Yeah,
Okay.
why not? I don't
Oh.
think they're gonna move her up to like a world title picture anytime soon, and you can still, you know, I feel like I still see her as more of like an Intercontinental champ, and to have her get a win over these two, I think would be huge. And what's nice is she could like pin Bailey and still have her feud with Becky Lynch keep going if they really wanted to. But yeah, I think Lyra's gonna win this one.
Interesting. I like that. I like that. I read today Becky Lynch was cast in a new comedy show from the creators of Reno 911, and
Yes, but I believe it's filmed already.
it's already filmed. Okay.
I could
okay.
be wrong on that, but I think it is something where it's like already filmed.
Oh, that's fair then. Okay, because I thought
Yeah.
maybe she would have to take time off. This
Sure.
would be a good way to get the belt off of her. Interesting. Okay. Love Bailey, love her to death. I don't see her getting this championship.
No way.
You know what? I love your theory. I think they should put it back on Lyra. You're right. You're right. And maybe that's not good for controversy, but I love your prediction, and I'm agreeing with you.
Thank you. That was the correct path to take.
I think so. And finally, what will probably be our main event, we have Io Sky defending her women's championship against Rhea Ripley. Oh my God, this is going to be an incredible match.
Yeah, this is. Oh wait, so Bianca's not on there at all. Bianca's going to interfere during that Naomi match.
Yeah, she's been gone for a while, man. I don't know what she's
gonna,
been
I
up
bet
to.
I bet she's going to interfere during that and probably help Naomi lose or make Naomi lose. That would be my guess. Set them up for SummerSlam. But oh man, I have no idea who's going to win this match. I'm really excited. I feel like Rhea's a universal champion to me. I think so is Io to a certain extent. But I see Io possibly winning this and keeping that belt.
Same.
Because I don't think it would hurt Rhea to lose, and I think she could move on to other things. Like maybe even like win the Royal Rumble again. She won before, right? She won before?
Yeah, right? Because then she
I think
faced
so.
Charlotte Flair and won the championship. Yeah.
Right. So
yeah, dude. I think you're right. I don't think Rhea could do anything at this point to like lower her where she's at in the company and with the fans. Like she can lose this and be completely fine. Someone like Io, I think, needs the belt to keep that that level of status she's at, and she damn well deserves it.
Sure.
In my opinion, I don't think her championship run is over, and each week you can hear it. The crowd is getting more and more and more behind her. She's got like that famous, gif that everyone does now. I have Io winning this match as well. As much as we clearly love Rhea, she can afford to lose this match.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's Evolution, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some surprises, some appearances, some returns, maybe like you had teased of a Bianca Belair. We shall see. But yeah, this is coming to us Sunday. They only show on Sunday in Atlanta, Georgia. So,
and I think I should be back from seeing Superman right in time to see it. So,
you lucky guy. It's releasing later here in the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I've only heard good things so far.
Same, which is very exciting. Yep.
Very exciting. Very exciting. All right, my man. Should we head into Act 2 of the episode?
Let's do it.
Okay. What do I have here? Oh, yeah. Our last slide. Let's go here. We're going to be talking, guys, because Evolution is coming to us. We thought this would be a wonderful way to celebrate the women of wrestling with our top 3 favorite women's matches of all time. And I threw this out to our Facebook group as well, Andrew, and we did get some responses, so we can go over those at the end of the show tonight. But yeah, where should we start, my man? Why don't you hit me with
I'll
your
dive
number-
in. I'll dive in, and I'll say right now, there's going to be like a recency bias to these. I think
A what?
a recency bias.
Recency. Got it.
But first and foremost, my number 3, WrestleMania 40, Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley for the women's world. I think of the world heavyweight title, where Becky Lynch wrestled a full match with Rhea Ripley with a 102-degree fever and strep throat.
That's right. Totally forgot about
102-degree
that.
fever and strep throat, and they wrestle
Yeah.
a full match. They go hard. It's incredible. It was insane at the time because I'm like, wow, we went from a point where within a few short years they could not wrestle with people in the arena, and now someone is wrestling sick in the middle of the ring, which was wild. But it was incredible. It spoke to both of them as wrestlers. One of the wildest things I've ever seen. And I think another thing is that it is hard for me to look back at some of the older women's matches from the early 2000s. You can go back into like the 80s and things like that, and still, like, I mean, you can find little bright spots in most of the eras, but I think that women's wrestling has finally earned a level of respect in the last 10 to 15 years that have made a lot of my stuff is going to be recent. But
Okay.
but yeah, I think that was just a classic showing of two incredible wrestlers, and one of them wrestling handicapped and still managing to put on an incredible match and show that lived up to the hype of the whole event.
Yes.
Because there was an insane amount of hype around WrestleMania 40. There was no way she was not going to go do that match. And not only she did it, she knocked it out of the park, and so did Rhea.
Well, and we should mention too, Rhea, right before going out, had a severe panic attack.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
Really bad. Apparently she almost couldn't make it out there.
Right,
So
right.
both of these women just like went out there,
Incredible.
gave the best opening match of WrestleMania we could have asked for. And it was incredible. It was an absolutely incredible match. Good choice. Good choice. Well, speaking of Rhea Ripley, I'm gonna go with my number 3 here. I have Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair for the Women's World Championship, WrestleMania 41. Talk about recent.
Let's go.
Dude. I did a little, you know me with my notes. I did a little paragraph for each of these, so I'm just gonna read it out.
Do it.
Chemistry between all three was off the charts. Entire match kept me on edge the whole time. Like I really had no idea who was going to win. The pacing was incredible for the match. Every moment felt earned. And it wasn't just a title match. It was a career defining performance for all three of these, in my opinion. It made Io Sky. It solidified Rhea as an unstoppable force, and it cemented Bianca Belair as a future Hall of Famer. And dude, those final moments were just incredible when they hit all those moves, and then Io went off the top rope for the win. I like WrestleMania 41. Say what you want about the 2-night event. Like a lot of people did not enjoy it, but that is one match that I will remember forever. I like stood up and cheered when she won at the end of that. So yeah, that's my number 3.
Yeah. My number 2, let's just keep the triple threat matches rolling. Hell in a Cell 2023. Asuka, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair. We actually talked about I talked about this match recently, so if people want to hear me get more in depth about it with CT Jones, go back and listen to that episode. It's somewhat recent, but that was a match that I had not seen before, and holy cow, is it incredible. You have 3 of the best in the business just going at it, getting everything they have, going technical, going outside the ring, hitting spots, showing what makes each one of them special. Like it's a match that I am excited to watch again. Like it was that good. So that one's up there for me.
Love it. Yes. And definitely go back and listen to that episode. It's been one of my favorite episodes of the podcast, and I wasn't even on it, but that conversation just blew me away.
CT rules. CT rules.
Have to get them back on for sure. All right. My next one, Trish Stratus, baby. I've got from 2023 Payback. This was a steel cage match between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. You remember this one?
Yes, I do.
I brought it up several times, I think, on the show. Brutal match. I had no idea that Trish was capable of taking these hits and
talk about someone who has only gotten better. Like to
100%.
watch how she started and how like she has ended up has been incredible. Like just so good. Somebody who was brought on during the T&A era, and it just was able to rise above that in a way that is phenomenal.
Incomparable, for sure, man. I mean, and the way they creatively used the steel cage during the match was amazing. Like they used it in so many different unique ways. This was the match where Trish got this huge welt on her head from
Hell yeah.
getting hit against the cage. I think Becky got maybe a busted open nose or something. There was blood. There's a lot of blood in this match during a time when blood was not a big thing. Even back in 2023. And it was just an awesome match. Becky Lynch hit a top rope manhandle slam for the win, and this ended their rivalry. And Trish gained a huge new respect for me after this match. Like you had mentioned, all I really knew her from was, her time in the Attitude Era and the quote unquote TNA.
And technically, I think she's technically like post she's more like post Attitude, more like Ruthless Aggression era, but kind of skirts the line, like the transition, whatever you want to call that transitionary period.
Yeah, that awkward time for sure. Yeah, but yeah, dude, this was it for me. That's why I'm excited to see Trish at Evolution. No matter what, we're gonna get a really good match between her and Tiffy. So that's my number 2. What you got? What's next?
Number 1. Speaking of recency bias, but also a personal bias. Technically, the first match that I ever properly watched with my children, War Games, Survivor Series 2024 Women's War Games match. You had Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Io Sky, Naomi, and Bayley face Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. It is an incredible match. Wild stuff happens in it, and I was able to show my boys and be like, here you go. This is wrestling. Their mouths were agape. They got to see Io Sky jump off the top of the cage. Like just all this insane stuff. Rhea coming out with her horns on and me having to explain, like, no, that's a good guy, actually. That's a good, like, we're going to cheer for her. Trying to break down. It was like, and I remember right afterwards, it was the next match was like LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura, and they were able to grasp that a little bit more specifically. But watching this War Games match happen was a hilarious introduction for them. Watching them watch it was almost as fun as watching the match itself. And it is, I mean, again, we go down that list. It's like 10 of the best women wrestling. It's insane. It's insane how much talent was packed into that match.
Sorry, Andrew. Was that the one where Io Sky had the trash can over her?
Yes, sorry. Yes, yep. Yeah, she put a trash can. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Insane. That was insane.
Yep.
Wow.
Just incredible stuff. So yeah, it's that one for me. That's my number 1.
I love it. All right, here's my number 1. We're rewinding all the way back to 1999. No Mercy. I hope this is considered a women's match. We did have a man in it. This was China versus Jeff Jarrett.
China versus Jeff Jarrett. Hey, I remember that one.
You remember this one?
Yes,
I rewatched it last.
That's when she won the Intercontinental title, right? Isn't that
correct? This was
for the hardcore. It's a hardcore match, maybe.
So I'm gonna run through it really quick. What this was. This was very interesting. First major intergender match in WWE history, marked the conclusion of a major feud with Jarrett, who was extremely misogynistic, sexist, and disrespectful to China at the time. So much so that the match was coined a good housekeeping match, which meant the household items could be used like brooms, ironing boards, toasters, and kitchen sinks were all legal weapons. All were used in this match as well. Some of it was comical. I found myself laughing at the cartoonish nature. I mean, dude, you bring a kitchen sink into the ring, it's going to be funny.
Sure,
right?
sure.
But it was also very violent. It was very violent. The turning point came when Jeff Jarrett attempted to use a guitar, but China reversed the momentum and smashed him in the head with it. Instead, she pinned Jarrett and seemingly won the title. However, this is where the drama came in. There was an initial controversy because the guitar wasn't considered a household item in the match. So all of the refs and officials got together and they actually ultimately decided that yes, China did win the match and she became the first ever women's intercontinental champion. So there you go, man. She won, and she was the only woman to ever win the Intercontinental Championship until it was finally, announced that there would be a women's Intercontinental. It was a milestone in WWE history, and it also served as Jeff Jarrett's final WWE appearance before departing to WCW. So there you go. He went out putting over China, becoming a champion. So say what you will about Jarrett. That's a hell of a move.
I would say nothing about Jarrett. But that's yeah, see, it's so hard because that is good stuff. But man, the idea that match even happened, was presented that way, makes my skin crawl.
I know.
Not even you can't even be like, it was a different time. It was 1999. It was 1999. What?
No mercy, baby. No mercy.
So, but yeah, that's China rules and such.
China
company, and by the company, I mean, that's what we don't have to get into it. Poor China.
I know, man. I'm on a China kick right now. I just watched that 2-hour Vice documentary they did on her, which is heartbreaking.
Brutal.
But they also really showed the lighter side and the positive side, and she had a lot of positivity in her life, and what she did for women's wrestling will never be forgotten. So,
never. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll try, but it won't.
Exactly. They will try. Awesome, dude. That's our top 3 favorite women's matches of all time. But like I said, we had a couple of our Facebook members.
What did we have from the group?
Should I run through these? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go. Andy McGrillen, who's been a past guest on the show, he said, I have a little bit of a controversial take, but you won't convince me otherwise. He has Stephanie versus Trish, No Way Out 2001. 2 non-wrestlers in a match booked to perfection. Regal knowing what to do when the time comes. This is pro wrestling. This is character. This is story. This is drama. Now, I would argue that Trish was a non-wrestler. She definitely is now. Maybe back in when was this?
Yeah, 2001. No, that makes sense. That's when she was
kind of the yeah. So that makes sense actually. So there you go. Stephanie McMahon versus Trish Stratus is
I'm sure the story on that one was great. I'm sure it was really fantastic. Nothing weird about it at all. Nothing that involved Vince in a way that would make everybody uncomfortable and belittle both of them. But I'm sure they put on a good match. Again, it's impossible. Look at those storylines. That's Stephanie getting drugged and married to Triple H era stuff.
Is that
that
time?
is?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe afterward, but not long afterward.
Well, Andy McGrillen.
That's the tight. No, and here's the thing. That's no swipe at Andy. It's just that's the stuff you have to wrestle with.
Yeah,
pun intended. When you look at that era of women's wrestling, it is the misogyny is not a bug. It's a feature.
Yep.
So it's always hard.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Jonathan over on the Facebook group. He said he has Trish Stratus versus Mickie James WrestleMania 2022. He also threw in Bayley
WrestleMania 2022 or WrestleMania 22.
Oh, 22. Excuse me.
Okay, gotcha. No, that's fine. That's fine. I was like, Mickie James hasn't been with the company that recently, has she?
No, you're right. Yep, WrestleMania.
I think I remember that. It was that if I remember correctly, that's Mickey's introduction where she's like Trish's biggest fan.
Yeah, very bubbly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's when you start to see the tide start to turn a little bit. I'm sure there's stuff in there that hasn't aged well, but that's when it has to that's the era when you get it, because WrestleMania 22 would have had to be in 2006, 2007.
Sounds about right. I wasn't really watching at that time, but I can't believe how many times Trish is
2006. Nailed it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, because she's great. And she is she is somebody who got to rise above being all on all fours in the ring while Vince makes her undress, or like pretending to have an affair with him in front of his wife, or like all the awful shit.
Yeah.
So, but she's great and she has risen above it consistently. And that rules.
Every time. Jonathan also had Bailey versus Sasha Banks at NXT Takeover in Brooklyn in 2015. And then lastly, he had Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, WrestleMania 39. That almost was on my list. That is an incredible match.
That's Rhea Ripley becoming a star.
Yeah.
Yep, deservedly so.
Yep. And lastly, our moderator over at the group, we've got Brian. Yep. Shout out to Brian. Always killing it over there on Facebook.
Always.
Keeping it alive, guys.
I deleted Facebook off my phone. I try not to go on there as much anymore. So I apologize if I have been lacking in the group, but every time I check in and I'm just like, Brian's crushing it. Thanks,
Nothing
Brian.
but love. Nothing but love over there, baby. Brian said any gimmick match. The women try harder and are more creative than the guys. I always enjoy the women's Rumble, Money in the Bank, ladder match, and the Elimination Chambers more than I ever do the guys. Matches specifically, Charlotte versus Becky versus Sasha, Mania 32. It set the standard for the main roster. Before that, Charlotte versus Natalya at the very first NXT pay-per-view set the standard for NXT and beyond. And then he's got Bayley versus Sasha Iron Woman match in NXT. So there you go.
Brian cooking, man. I'm gonna sit back and let Brian cook. That yes. Because I was thinking, I was like, oh wait, I really liked the women's Elimination Chamber match this year more than I liked the men's match. I'll tell you that much. The women's match, the women's Royal Rumble match this year, had one of my favorite, one of my favorite Nia Jax spots. Where she eliminated like 7 people at once, like all this really awesome stuff. So hey, Brian, baby, crushing it,
man. Also giving
everybody
NXT.
Brian, Andy, Jonathan, thank you for your answers. I want to make that clear because that's the whole point. We can't do this unless we have people talking to us, even if it's through text. But Brian, right there with you, all 3, everybody,
crushing it, baby. I'm glad Sasha got some love too. I think we often tend to forget about her. He does have an interesting honorable mention. You mind if I throw this out there?
I do mind.
Okay, I figured.
No, sorry.
Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa in a lights out match in AEW. Set the standard for AEW women's wrestling, and it was the match that put Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa on the map as main event stars.
Which is very funny considering that Britt Baker is like persona non grata at AEW right now.
She's on her way out, baby.
I don't think it's gonna. She signed a long contract, and Tony Khan doesn't. I don't know. I think there's sometimes where he backs himself into a corner, and it just he's going to accidentally make her jump to WWE more valuable for WWE if that happens. Because again, you just keep them off for so long, and you keep people wondering, and keep people thinking there's a reason. Vince McMahon sucks. Vince McMahon sucks. No one is denying that. But the reason he would bury people before they would go elsewhere, it was intentional. It was to make sure they couldn't hop over and be a boon for somebody else.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to do that, and I get it, and I respect it to an extent. But it's not going to help them in the long run.
Yeah, it'll come back to bite him somehow, some way, as it has with Penta and Dragon Lee. That's for damn sure, and many others.
Dragon Lee over? You mean Ray Phoenix?
What did I say? Dragon Lee.
Ray
Phoenix. Pardon me. Pardon me. Yes,
right.
yes. Yeah. So there we go. Thank you, Brian. Jonathan
doesn't know the difference between masked wrestlers. No, I'm taking a note. Sorry, you can keep talking. I was just doing a little note.
But I was about to.
All right,
that's
Spanish. Somewhere in the ring, as always. You can go to patreon.com/somewhere in the ring. Come follow us. We did an interview with Breesby that got released last week, which was a lot of fun. Right. You should go listen to that. You can check out my short film chemistry test on YouTube. Pay the tithe on Vimeo. We got stuff out there somewhere in the skies. Ryan back to doing those live streams on Sunday nights.
Yep.
Like, rate, review, subscribe. It helps. And,
tremendously.
yeah, we can't get you our Ready to Rumble episode until we get a certain number of subscribers.
That's right. That's right.
Legally binding.
That's right, guys. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, go please rate and review. We could really use that. Thank you so much. Like Andrew said, check everything out. And yeah, we got a lot of wrestling this weekend. Can't wait to come back next week and review some of it for you guys. And so much more to come, baby. So
we might have to do like a little smorgasbord, like a little pick from each night too.
Little bit of greatest hits.
Yeah, a little bit
like
of everything.
That.
Maybe, yeah.
I like that. How should we end this, baby? Do you want me to do a surprise post-production bell again? Shall we go with that?
Yeah. I'm gonna listen for it though. I'm gonna
Okay, you ready?
Here
it goes. 1, 2, 3.
Weird. It was just somebody screaming Hispanic slurs. Like Ryan, that was a very weird. That was an odd choice. I'm gonna respect it. We're co-hosts, but I think I would in the future.
Lo siento.